Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons with Troy. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, today's lesson, I'm starting a new series on the site all about exotic scales. And each lesson I'll feature a different scale and the diagram of that scale and play you a little bit, kind of improvise, and just kind of dive into this scale, the harmonies of it. Over here I've written out some extended harmonies to it. But this is going to be the first one, and this just happens to be, one of my favorite new scales that I've learned. It's called the D Phrygian dominant scale. It's also called the Spanish Gypsy scale, Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6. And then I got this off Wikipedia. If you can see it here, it says this scale occurs in Indian, Middle Eastern, Eastern European, Central Asian, and flamenco music. It is also common in Arabic and Egyptian music. Now let me go ahead and improvise a little bit with you here. And keep in mind that this is what this is down here. This is showing you what's going to be different about this scale than just a regular D major scale, right? So what we have is we have a flat 2, we have a major 3rd, a major 4th or perfect 4th, perfect 5th, a flat 6, a flat 7, and a root. So where is this going to get this exotic sound from, right? Well, check out on our 4th string here, on our root strings. This happens on all the root strings, right? The D strings in the key of D. Look at this half step, root to flat 2, and then we jump 2 frets to our major 3rd and our perfect 4th. Sounds like this. So that's what is different about this scale than, like, say, a major scale or natural minor scale, is that big leap, those half steps there, that half step, and then that half step. And we also have a flatted 6 there too. So we have a flatted 7th as well. So the dominant sound is the major 3rd, flatted 7th, but then that Phrygian sound is that flat 2, flat 6 kind of thing. So anyways, let me go ahead and improvise and just kind of test out some different sounds with this. And what I love is having that low string ring out. You can let the 5th string ring out too. So those are some different sounds you can get with this. Just that's off the top of my head. But check this out. Some different sounds. You might have heard me do this lick. Right? Check out how we've got a major 1 chord and a major, it's actually a major flat 2 chord there. Our 2 chord is major. But they're right next to each other, those half steps, right? lot of neat things you can do with that sound, having those two major chords right next to each other. Now I do have to say, if you're hearing my tone, you know, I've got my Kemper amp profiler here with quite a bit of reverb, and then the tail of the reverb is pretty long, so meaning how long it goes out. So to me, I this sounds like movies, you know, like music I'd hear in movies. You know, some sort of dramatic scene in a movie set in the Middle East or something. Now, another thing that I do that, like I said, I just kind of hear this stuff like in movies and other. Definitely don't know really anything about that style, you know, Indian music, the style of that. But what I hear when I hear people play that, I hear, you know, that kind of sitar style. You know, the real quick kind of slides, or ghosted slides, where right there, I'm just like something like that. I'm just going 5 to flat 6 to 4. But any of these notes, really, I might do that little, I almost want to call it a microtonal kind of slide, where you're not sliding to the fret. Maybe you're just going just a little bit above it, but doing it really quick and getting that kind of like what you'd hear on sitar, you know, where they push the string down and just subtly bend it. I like to do those to get this scale memorized and start improvising. I love to just let those low strings ring out, and then just know the scale kind of. It's I don't want to say it's easy, fairly easy, but you know, because you have so many repeating strings, you have 3 root notes. So once you get your root note string memorized where this scale is, it's going to be the same for each string, right? Each root note string, and then get the 5th down to where you know that kind of where that is going up the string, and then the your major 3rd string, your string with the major 3rd on it. And then you can kind of hear what it sounds like when you hit the chord tones, like the 5th sounds really nice. But also hanging out on some of these weird notes, the flat 6. And really, that flat 2 just has such a cool sound to it. That's a neat little technique you can do. If you hit the harmonic and then you put your bar right over the fret, right, you can move the harmonic that you just hit. And because that's a little half step there, that's what works nice. So yeah, that's as far as improvising goes. Let me show you some of these licks that I got here. This one is a real nice sequence lick, going 1st fret to open. Right, that lick there. So you start off with a hammer on 0 to 1 on your 2nd string, and then you do open 1st string, and then you're gonna come back to that 2nd string, do a pull off 1 to 0. Right? And then you go to your 3rd string, do 1st fret 3rd string to an open 2nd string, and then pull off 1 to 0 on your third string. And then do a pull off to string 4. Now what you could do is do that actually. That'd actually sound better. Yeah, and maybe I'll go ahead and tab that out. I don't have it tabbed out right now as I'm recording it, but that'd probably be a good one to tab out. That definitely has that Phrygian dominant sound of the flat 7, but then those half steps from your first fret to open, right? And that's basically all just 1 to 0s with, see the hammer on? Open, pull, off, 1 to second string, pull, off. And then there, go to that third fret, 5th string for that flat 7 note. Okay, so getting into this diagram a little bit, I don't know how many out there would appreciate this, but I've went ahead and written out the harmony to this. I've written out here in triads, meaning 3-note chords. And notice how our 1 chord and 2 chord are major. 3 chord, look here, that we got this little symbol there that means diminished. So our 3 chord is going to be diminished. Our 4 chord is going to be minor. Our 5 chord is going to be diminished. And our 6 chord is going to be, the plus sign right there means augmented. Okay, now if you don't know what diminished and augmented means, that basically just means a diminished chord has a flatted 3rd and a flatted 5th in the triad. Normally, like let's look at this one. Normally an A major chord we know has an A, C sharp, E natural, but an A diminished has a flatted 3rd, meaning a C natural, and a flatted 5th, an E flat. Okay, what an augmented chord is that has a major 3rd. So we know in a B flat major chord, B flat and D, that's fine. That falls within our B flat major chord. And then it has a sharp 5. So normally you have an F natural in a B flat major chord, which is the 5th of your chord. But here we have a F sharp. So we sharp the 5th. And then our 7 chord is going to be minor. Now over here, if you want to get even more heavy into music theory and the harmonies, I've written it out with 4-note chord extensions, where here we have triads, right? 3-note chords. Well, if you extend each chord out 1 more note, right, you add the 7th, you get into your 7th, your jazz harmonies now. We have a D7 as our 1 chord, E flat major 7 as our 2 chord, F sharp diminished 7, that's a fully diminished 7th. Notice there, root, flat 3rd, flat 5th. This is something you probably never heard of. A fully diminished 7th chord has a doubly flatted 7th in it. I know this is the first time a lot of you guys are probably hearing this jazz harmony, but it's interesting. This one is what's called a minor major 7th. It's a minor chord with a major 7th added to it. So it's G, B flat, D. That's a G minor triad. And then we add F sharp for our major 7th on there. And then we keep going down. Our 6 chord, is that 6? No, sorry, 5 chord. Our 5 chord is going to be an A minor 7th flat 5. Another name for that chord is an A half diminished chord. Okay, because it doesn't have a fully diminished 7th like this, a doubly flatted 7th. It just has a flatted 7th. Okay, and then there's our 6 chord, right? B flat, major 7th, sharp 5. Totally weird chord. Root, major 3rd, sharp 5. So it's like an augmented, there's our augmented chord, if you can see, augmented triad. And then we add to that a major 7th. And this is just how it naturally falls within the harmony of this scale, right? If you just naturally harmonized in thirds each note of this scale. And then our 7 chord is going to be just a regular minor 7th chord, a minor triad with a flatted 7th. Okay, that's what that looks like. I don't know how many, you'll appreciate that or not. Now, yeah, so that's some other things that I did in that improv. Is it's kind of nice because you have that flatted seventh but a major third, right? Another idea that you can do is hammering onto that flatted seventh there, right on our 3rd fret, 5th string, and playing with those notes, that major third on our 4th fret, 4th string, pulling off to there. So just another idea, like I said, the sitar-ish sounds, the quick slides, ghosted slides, and then sliding multiple times into the note. Now I did make a jam track for this. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I got my Pro Tools. You'll get to see what my Pro Tools looks like. So let me show you what this sounds like. And I will... So some different sounds we've got. As you can see here, we've got tablas going on. We've got these taiko, these Chinese drums. It's weird. Listen to this. This Godzilla sound. This is different sound effects there. We've got a gong, a big Chinese gong. Listen to this. Hold on, let me rewind it where you can hear it. There we go. Tabla's going on. That's this. Got this tabla loop. Tabla's an Indian percussion instrument. We have a sitar. There's that. So this actually works nice because it's just a D, kind of D drone. I did put, I have it muted here, but I have this kind of flute instrument, duduk. And I got to say too, I use these sounds by this company called East West Sounds. It's kind of like for movie soundtracks and things like that. Oh, it's so good. Pay a monthly fee for that, and get access to all these crazy movie soundtrack kind of MIDI sounds. So I just have this little bitty, $99 MIDI keyboard that you can play this stuff in and do your different tracks and all that. But so much fun to make up these jam tracks on here. But yeah, if I mute out that flute, show you what it. If I mute that out, it's really just a drone. So you can totally play whatever you want to over it. Anyways, it's so much fun to. So anyways, I'll include that in this lesson as well. But get back to this. But that was Pro Tools, and like I said, those sounds, East West Sounds. If any of you guys are studio people out there, it's a great company, has some fantastic sound effects. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that lesson. My first on my exotic scales lesson. Use this diagram to mess around with getting some crazy sounds. And if you play a chord instrument that has some chords, check out these crazy weird chords and figure out how to play them. And try to make some songs with the Phrygian dominant scale, aka the Spanish Gypsy scale. Berkeley, I read in that same Wikipedia article where they call it the Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6. And okay, hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next lesson. Thanks, everybody. Take care.